Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Soft Flow Yoga. Thanks for joining me. Let's start in seated for our practice today. Go ahead and sit on something soft like a blanket or a pillow if you'd like, and you can cross your legs. You don't have to cross your legs. This is comfortable for me. I'm sitting in a half lotus position. You can just cross your legs here in easy pose, or if you need to, you can even extend a leg or two. And if you need a little back support, go ahead and lean up against a wall or even sit in a chair. We'll take these moments to discover or rediscover breath. Start by taking a full deep breath in and exhale completely. Full breath in, exhale. Just settle into steady breaths in and out as you make your way inward. Feel free to close your eyes if you'd like, or just soften your eyelids and just look downward. Paying attention to the breathing effort, noticing the breath in and the breath that follows. This mindful connection as we prepare for our moving practice. We're going to focus on hamstrings today. I have a couple of poses that will be very nice for stretching out tight hamstrings. Good. Just continue the steady breathing, noticing the feeling of the breath and the sound of your breath. Very calming, soothing. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths in and out. Prepare your body to move. We'll start with a very simple movement. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms out across the room. Feel as if you'll touch the walls and then the ceiling as you reach up. Complete the in-breath. Then exhale, extend the arms out and let them float back down to your side. Again, reaching with effort. Completing that first round of breath. Do that again. Full breath in, reaching out and up. Even feel a lifting sensation. Reaching, floating off the ground. Exhale. Arms float back down. We'll do that one more time. Just bringing some energy to the body, this simple movement. Good. And just pause here for a moment. Feel free to circle the shoulders. Good. Let's come to our hands and knees. Warm up the spine a little bit. And feel free to use some padding, like a blanket underneath you, just to protect your knees, protect your wrists. So here as you inhale, just tip the pelvis back, let the belly drop, heart opens, tip the chin up, and exhale, round it all out. Tuck the pelvis under, feel the belly button draw up towards spine, chin to chest. And then continue, inhale, tip pelvis back, belly drops, heart opens, tip gaze upward, that's cow pose. Exhale, tuck pelvis under. Draw belly button up towards spine, feel the curvature of the spine, chin to chest, here's cat. And just a few more times here. Again, just creating some good mobility through the spine and through your hips. Finish the breath that you're on and take 2 more breaths. We'll just pause at a neutral tabletop posture for a moment. Take a breath. Then we'll make our way to downward facing dog. If you're using a blanket here, let's just set it to the side, then return to your hands and knees. Just like this. Let's go ahead and step the hands forward, and as you do so, spread out your fingers so you feel a nice stretch between each finger. And then lean or press your palms flat into the mat. Nice and strong, and feel the energy in your arms. Strong, straight arms here. Tuck your toes under. Let's do one more cat-cow flow. Inhale, cow. That's our back bend. Exhale, round it out. Hold cat for a moment. Make sure your toes are tucked. Some good energy, lifting the knees off the floor. Keep the knees bent as you send your hips up and back towards the wall behind you while your head just dips between the arms. Take a look at your feet and toes and feel like your head is moving towards your toes. And you continue to feel a wonderful extension through the torso and strong arms. We're going to make our way up to standing. So go ahead and take a few steps forward, maybe just to the center of your mat. And you can just slide your fingertips towards your toes here. You'll be in a forward fold. Slight weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees to lower your hips. Start lifting upper body, and you can even bring hands up to thighs. Press into thighs to help extend spine. Right here, like you're in a chair pose. And then continue standing, just pressing into the thighs, standing up tall. Let's get even taller with an inhale, reaching all the way up. And exhale, arms down to your side. And if you like, another circle of the shoulders. We're going to go back down to that forward fold, which will be our first hamstring stretch. Here we go. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. So you're spreading your wings, bend your knees, and sit back as if you're sitting into a chair behind you. You can even bring hands to thighs again. Then just go ahead and slide down towards the floor. I'm going to pause right here for a moment. I'm just sliding my hands down, and they're just below my knees. Perhaps this is as far as you'd like to go, but still feel a wonderful stretch. And if you need a little extra balance or stability, you might have a chair or a table or a wall. I'm going to break pose for a moment and grab my blocks. You can even have blocks here for your forward fold. And again, this could be a wonderful stretch. Maybe that's all that you need, but if you can certainly go down a little lower. I'm just going to go ahead and keep my hands on my blocks right here and releasing the head. Feel the curvature of the spine. Even lean forward a little bit. This way it doesn't feel like I'm overstretching in this forward fold. I'm not straining my back either. And I don't need to touch the ground. And just taking a few breaths. With a little bit of support like this, with hands on stacked blocks or the seat of a chair, you might find that you can hold the pose a little bit longer. Really allowing for this initial stretch in the backs of your legs. Okay, we're going to come back up to standing. So I'm leaning into the blocks, but I want to shift the weight back away from the blocks, more towards the heels. And as I do so, I can move the blocks out of the way. Bend the knees. Take that low seat, hands up to thighs. Press, start lifting until I feel the re-extension of the spine. Keep driving heels into the floor, standing up tall. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Let's stay here for a moment in extended mountain pose and just add a few extra stretches here at the top. Releasing the low back, the sides of the body, your hips, after being in that forward fold. Let's inhale, both arms up, and exhale, arms return to your side. Alrighty. Let's make our way into a nice sun salute, which will take us to our next hamstring stretch, which will be triangle pose. So standing near the top of your mat, we'll inhale, take arms out and up. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees, sit back into your imaginary chair. Coming down slowly, your belly may touch thighs. Go ahead and let your arms drop. Relax your head, maybe touch toes. Maybe you still have your blocks here. Inhale, rise up halfway. Slide hands up to shins, lifting up so you're parallel to the floor initially. Exhale, fold, slide down slowly. Feel the stretch through your hamstrings and your back body. Release your head, look between your knees. Bring your hands down to the floor. You might need to bend your knees more so you can reach the ground with your hands. Put weight into the hands so you can start stepping or walking the feet back to the back end of your mat. Lowering your hips just a bit so they're about shoulder level. And we'll pause here for a bit of strength in plank pose. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. Send your hips into the air. Keep the knees bent. Again, you're sending your head between the arms. Look at your toes, feeling like your head and chest are moving right down to your feet. Make some adjustments if you need to with your feet, maybe even your hands, to help you fully arrive in your posture. All right, here we go. I like to step my left foot to center for a little bit of balance, and then pick up the right foot, and with an inhale, extend the right leg up and back, reaching through the toes. Did you see my elbows? They were bent. I just want to make sure I'm pressing the hands firmly into the mat to straighten the arms so I have some good strength and stability. Inhale again with that extended right leg. Exhale, let's send right foot to the top of the mat. Take your time to get here, even if you need to wiggle the toes forward. A lot of weight came forward, so I'm going to turn my back leg, getting that whole left foot onto the floor. There's still not enough weight back there, so I like to walk the hands back and even bring my blocks in again. I'll place one on either side here like so I can just kind of press myself up a little bit, start to extend spine, even rise to fingertips to get a little higher up, lengthening spine, then hands to leg here, getting up even higher. So you can really break this down quite nicely. And then go ahead and rise up nice and tall, reaching into the air for our warrior one. Reaching up, let's just pause for a moment, just facing forward. Nice knee bend in front, so knee and toes are pointing forward, making sure you have a good connection to the earth with your foot behind you. We'll inhale here. Exhale, turn to your left. Arms will come down to parallel. Now you might need to adjust your feet. My left foot is turned in, and so when I open up here, I feel a little contortion in my hip, knee, and ankle. So I like to kind of spin that left foot out, which really frees up the hip, knee, and ankle, and that back leg. And it feels better here. So this is our warrior two, and so we're going to get set up for a triangle pose. Now I'm going to straighten the right leg. Now, you can have any distance between the feet here. I think I'm going to step the feet just a tiny bit closer. You can certainly take them wider if you'd like, or have more of a narrow stance. Extended arms, and just follow this right arm forward to angle the upper half of the body. And as you're reaching the right hand forward, you feel like your left hip is moving to the back of the room until you just kind of naturally stop here. Just kind of check in with the hips sections here. And then just rotate the arms. So this right hand might land at your thigh area or the knee or maybe your calf. So this could be your pose. And you'll start to feel this hamstring stretch. So we're going to hold this position. So let's go ahead and relax this left arm. I'm just even going to bring my left hand to my hip. I'm going to move this block so you can actually see what's happening with my front foot here. So what I'm going to do here is actually lift the toes, just the toes, and then push the heel of this foot and the balls of the toes a little bit more firmly into the floor. Just kind of fires up the leg, but also stabilizes the hip so that if you'd like, you can go down maybe a little bit more. Again, not forcing this posture or this feeling, because not only are we getting this hamstring stretch, but we're also working through the hips here. So a few more breaths in our modified triangle pose. And if you need somewhere to place this hand, again, maybe a chair, the seat of a chair, or even some stacked blocks. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to stack some blocks just like this. Oh, this is nice. So I have a little bit more support, which really allows me to stay here a little bit longer. To come out of the pose, I'm simply going to bend this right knee so I have some leverage. I'm pushing into the blocks, but you can even place this hand on thigh, push into thigh to help you rise back up until you're perpendicular to the floor, and return to a warrior two position with extended arms. With creating a big windmill, and take this left arm up and around, free the hands, bring the hands down to the mat. I'm actually going to move my blocks out of the way real quick. Rise up onto tiptoes behind me, push firmly into the floor with the hands, returning to strong straight arms so I can easily slide that right foot back. Plank pose, holding here for a moment just to realign the body. And then softness of knees, send hips into the air. Head and chest sink. Make some adjustments with feet and hands, making your arrival to downward facing dog. Let's do the exact same thing other side. So now I'm stepping right foot to center. You don't have to do this. This just works for me. Creating a little bit of balance. Picking up left foot. Inhale, extend left leg up and back. Again, my elbows feel soft. So I'm going to push hands more firmly into the floor, pressing more towards my thumbs and index fingers, which really energizes the hands and arms. More stabilization. Breathe in, lengthen leg. Exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat, or even just behind this left hand. Right heel turns onto the floor. Weight is too far forward. I'm just walking the hands back a little bit, rising to fingertips. Got my blocks handy. Rising here. And once you start to rise, feel like you're extending and moving forward. Even look forward, that might help. Rising to fingertips, rising a bit higher. And then hands to thigh, same thing. Just press, lift, good extension, making sure you have some good weight and pressure in that back foot. And then we can free the hands, rise up to perpendicular to the floor, extending the arms up into the sky. Good reach and a lunge, holding for a moment in our Warrior One. Let's get set up for Warrior Two. So breathe in here. Exhale, turn to your right. Arms come down to parallel. And if you need to, make some adjustments with your feet. I'm going to spin that right foot out. Frees up the hip, knee, and ankle for me. I can really settle into the pose, which actually helps open the hips. And then set up for triangle. So I'm going to straighten my left leg. Still a bit of distance between the feet. This could be fine for me, but I'm just going to go ahead and just step in just a little bit more. Feel tall here. You want to feel like an energy is rising up through the sides of the body, out through the arms, and then reach out with the left arm. Right hip tips back like it's going to that side of the room, and then just rotate the arms. Again, you might be quite high up in this pose, meaning this hand is up by your thigh or knee. You don't really need to go down too low for this posture. Now, like I said, we're going to hold this posture. So we're going to relax this arm. I'm just going to bring this right arm down, hand on hip, moving this block out of the way so you can see the foot again, and just creating that stabilization. So I'm going to lift the front toes, keep the balls of the foot on the floor, heel on the floor, and just kind of push into the floor with the foot. And I can feel the thigh fire up, even the inner leg a little bit, which helps to stabilize the pelvis here, and I can tip over a little bit more. So I feel this in the hips, maybe a little bit in the back, certainly that stretch in the hamstrings. And I've got my old stacked set of blocks over here so I can hold this pose. So lots of ways you can be in triangle. And this is a nice way to be in the posture, hold it for some time, not feeling like you're overdoing the pose. Let's take 3 more breaths. We'll come out of the posture. Start by bending this left knee, which gives us some leverage. Right there, I'm going to bring this left hand up to thigh so I can push to help lift my upper body back to its neutral state. Warrior Two. And ready to flow out of the posture. Big windmill, right arm comes up and around. Free the hands, fold carefully, reach the ground with the hands here. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you, so we're in that runner's lunge. Press strongly into the floor with the hands to re-energize the arms, so we can easily slide left foot back. There's our plank pose. Hold. We're going to gently bring knees to the floor. Sit back briefly into hero. Then off to the side and bring the legs around to the front for our last posture, which is just a seated forward fold. So legs extended out in front of you. If you need something soft to sit on, go ahead and bring in a blanket if you'd like. Now the legs can be absolutely straight or a slight bend in the knees. You can even take a towel, perhaps roll up a towel and just tuck it under the knees just so you have a little bit of support. For now, I'm just going to bring in my blocks. That should work okay. We're going to take a gentle forward fold. Still working on stretching out the hamstrings. So let's inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, just hinge forward a little bit, not much. And then go ahead and bring the arms down to your legs. Wherever they land, that's where they land. Inhale, extend through spine, feeling tall and lifted. Exhale, and just taking a step down the legs just a little bit, keeping the spine mostly straight. I can already feel a slight curvature, which is fine here too. Inhale, more lift and length. The lifting is feeling like your torso is lifting up out of the pelvis, giving you a bit more space so you can fold. Now here, it's okay for your back to round, even lower your chin. Maybe another step down the legs. My fingers have reached the ankles. If you can, maybe reach your toes. Now you may not be down this low, which is perfectly fine. Now if you need some more support in this leg stretch and you can't quite reach your toes, get a strap or a towel or a jump rope, something like that that you can wrap around the feet. And maybe you're up here nice and tall holding on to the strap but still getting a wonderful hamstring stretch. And because if you happen to have tight hamstrings and you want to loosen them up, it is helpful if you are able to hold stretches for a period of time. So you want to be able to get into a place where you feel supported, something like this, sitting on something soft, supporting bent knees, not folding too deeply, just enough where you do feel a gentle stretch in the backs of the legs. So you can breathe easily, slowly, deeply, remaining or maintaining that sense of calm. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. But for here, we'll take about 3 more breaths. And when you're ready to come out of your pose, just going to free your hands and reach forward. We'll inhale and just hinge back up. Once you're tall here, keep reaching straight up. Lift and lengthen. Exhale. Let's bring arms down to the side. If you're using any props here for the legs, just going to move those. And we're going to finish our sequence here. Just going to turn. And if the legs were straight, we're just bending the knees, bring them in. You can come to cobbler's pose if you'd like, or return to cross legs or any other leg positioning. So we're just returning to the place where we began our practice. Feel tall, lengthen in the spine. Finishing with one movement, inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, bring palms together down to your heart. Hold here, taking one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste. If you enjoyed this yoga practice, be sure to subscribe, like, and you can even leave a comment to let me know what other type of yoga practice you would like. I'll create a practice just for you. Thanks for joining me.